Back in '81, when I first started off in coffee, there really wasn't anybody doing coffee. I was in Glacier Park. There was somebody in Chicago, Denver, and Seattle that roasted coffee. And having moved to the Glacier Park area, the environment and sustainability was a real high priority. So I began to search out some kind of sustainable storyline, which would relate back to the Cafe Monteverde coffee, which we started in '89. It was called Sustainable Coffees back then. Then Fair Trade came into the market, and that was the late '90s. So we might have been about 10 years ahead of the curve, but creating sustainability was a primary focus of Coffee Traders.
I think that's the beauty of fair trade too, is it makes it accessible, because I think people have a tendency just to get overwhelmed with the world's ills and the things going on in the world. If you watch the news and like, where can you start? Where can you start? And you can take your dollar and use it as an economic ballot, and you can use it that way. At the same time, making a difference in someone's life on the other side of the world, that Comfort Kamea, or the folks that you were talking about, and they feel like they can be making an effort, you know, a little by little, and that it doesn't take huge changes for their life. And then it, like you said, it opens up their world vision. All of a sudden they start thinking, you know, are the people that are helping me in my yard, or the people, are they getting a fair wage? You know, it's not just the people on the other side of the world, like I think you had mentioned, it's also in America too. But it just gives them an opportunity to do something, because I think everybody has that yearning to reach out and help other people. And I think a lot of people, especially Catholics, are very good at doing the direct acts of charity and working in soup kitchens or working down at Micah 6 food pantry. But this is yet another way to try to make an institutional change for the folks on the other side of the world, or in this country too.
Well, I got plugged into what fair trade was all about the same way Elizabeth did in a Just Faith class, which is about social justice issues. But my direct connection is we started a program to sponsor children for education down in a little village in Mexico, kind of the central part of the country, called Villa Garcia. And so we'd make these trips down, and we'd be visiting the people in their homes, and almost everywhere we went, we'd see these handmade looms. And we found out these people had been weaving for hundreds of years in this village. So we started thinking, well, you know, is there something we can do besides sponsoring the kids to help the weavers, to help with that fair trade concept? So this is one of their tapestries. They're 100% wool, and they're incredibly inexpensive. So kind of what we did is we found a family who consistently did good work. And we said, okay, what would be a fair price to pay you guys for a rug like this, you know? And so rather than trying to get it at the rock bottom price, we asked kind of for their opinion on what was fair. And so we negotiated that price with them, and over the years we've actually given them raises at our suggestions rather than theirs, because we've heard like the cost of raw materials is going up for their wool or for their dyes. So that's created a lot of good feelings and trust when we go, hey, I think we should pay you a little more. You know, it's not the traditional business model that you see in this country.
My piece of it has to do with what we talked about a little earlier about the sustainability. Like Elizabeth and Jack, I came to my awareness of this through Just Faith, which is a process that helps people become aware of a lot of things that are just not on our radar this side of the border. Meaning the United States and all the borders that we make. And so what we were committed to do was be creating a market. And I know that sounds very capitalistic, but the fact is, if there's not a market for the chocolate in Ghana, or for these beautiful weavings, or for this lovely blouse, which I am wearing, then all of the good work and all of the concern that people have for themselves and their families has no outlet. And what we've done through our work, through our community, Just Faith community in Austin, is to convert our entire parish to just fair trade coffee.